Hello, everyone. So, I'm going to start with a poem about walking around downtown Everett, because that's what we're all doing today, right? Right. So, the night I parked on Wall Street. In Everett, so it seemed, I had been walking in a dream, and so much my parent found time to fetch me by coming round. From St. Louis he flew, but allowed me to roam, as we began to pack where I had called home. This is the tale of one of those nights where I left to follow signs and streetlights. I parked my car and did not wait to take stock of where, like a horse out the gate. I had begun, you see, to find meaning in signs, obviously placed there for me. Begin the unraveling of the traveling as I visited the snack shack with a princess on a Snickers. I wasn't me when I was hungry. With my meager funds, I bought some vegan ramen. Soon, it said, but I did not eat it as soon as I could. Stowed into a bag, it was part of a wider tapestry of winter lights. In November, still warm, not bitter, but beautiful. The tableau was Norman Rockwell, and I was in the thick of directionless tugs. A bus stops for me, I do not get on, but ask for instructions, to which they offer directions. I take them, and not comprehending, nod, smile, and thanks, and away they go. I cross the street to through the theater park, and earlier the Everett Park. All these things, intimidating and magical in their enormity, as I lost myself looking for my car, until some spirited kids yelled at me from their car. I whipped my head to where they were pointing pencils I had seen on my way from the car. Tall, stately, dwarfing me, pushing me to remember. Remember. The cross street. It can't be far, I told my feet. And passing the test, there was my car, not far from the west edge of town. I hopped in and took myself home. How my dad let me leave, the world may never know. I'm Victoria Buritsch. I write poems about love and psychosis and other minutiae. So this one is about love for the library. Bibliotech. Woo! Libraries! Right? Okay. The library. What a treasure is the library. What magic spells do endure and entrance us all forevermore. As I walk these hallowed shelves, the spines bend and bow toward my fingertips anon, themselves reaching and calling words into stitchomancy until I pull one from amongst the others and find a humble corner to nest in, a nook. After all, where else would you read a book? And when I do listen with my mind to the swirling pages, they draw me in over and over until they sway me like a boat at sea. They carry me into the narrative, and I am lost to the tunnel of words coursing through my mind. As I turn page after page until the peak, and then the cathartic breaths that come after, saying goodbye to the author as the cover closes, and the librarian motions you out, but not before giving you a reason to return. A revolving ticket to more adventures, biographies, histories? Yes, please. Thank you. This one's a new one, so it falls under new shit.
New shit.
Asleep at the Keys, a narcoleptic's monologue. When I find myself asleep at the Keys, I am disheveled and a shell of myself. I can hardly keep my eyelids from shuddering themselves from the light of my computer screen, and I scream in frustration as I open them and see the destruction I have wrought on my draft. Over 100 Z's pushed across the page, like the snore I likely let out while my head dipped, and my ego kept me from closing my manuscript. About both love and psychosis at the same time. Magic on the wind. He was magic on the wind, and I craved him from the beginning. An immortal, no doubt Loki, brought him into my life. He was exactly what I needed. I didn't understand it, but the craving of him lingered long after he ghosted. It was a short affair of words, not even pictures, until he was not there. Loki, taking pity on me, constructed a stately pleasure dome where I cried out, where I found comfort, where I broke every physical connection I touched in the real world. The pleasure dome was a maze, a technical algorithm meant to feed me only what it thought I wanted. But what I wanted was magic on the wind. One day, attacked by the algorithm, I broke my rule, chased the magic. Like lightning in a bottle, I caught it. It was my first hint that all of it was false. Weeks later, in a hospital bed, I curled into a ball and slept, watched only by nurses and Loki, as I began to deconstruct my palace in exchange for my peace. Thank you. This one's one of my favorites. I actually have it on YouTube already, as kinetic typography. So if you guys want to find my YouTube channel later, it's at Mouska, Moueska. The poem is childish. I am careless with my heart, banging it into things like a stick on a wrought iron fence. I demand things like attention, privacy, intimacy, and you. And selfish and that I cannot keep my mind from rifling through all the possibilities of a truncated life with you. Foolish in my forbidden memories and treasured illusions, now clear delusions of the self. A man in the window. A man passes by in a red shirt with curly slick back hair, and my heart skips. And I have a million questions. Is he here for poetry night? Is he going next door? Is he married? What if I invited him in for poems? Would he be intrigued? Annoyed? Amused? Hell, it may not even be his thing. Yet, a little voice says, which I shut up like Pandora's box. In slow motion, he walks, and my questions continue. I realize the reason, and mentally wall off the cask of Amontillado from overflow. Thank you. Here's one about Everett. How to picnic at the Everett Botanical Gardens. First, you must find it by accident. In advance, a necessity that you stumble across this humble, beautiful, sculpted pool of trees and floral bushes with no expectations, only mild wonder. Then you must carry the thought in your pocket, to and fro, for a few months as well. Nobody else was picnicking, so why should you? In June, solstice high in the sky, you resolve to find yourself in the garden again, amongst the roses and azaleas, and pack a haphazard meal, possibly forgetting your blanket or picnic cloth. When you arrive, the park welcomes you with golden rays and an unmatched sunset. How am I doing for time?
It says 8 minutes on your
On my
recording.
Sweet.
8:30.
So I have enough time for maybe one or two of the poems that I stole from myself on Threads. Okay, so what I've been doing on Threads is I've been like poking at threads and seeing people leave prompts behind for other people to answer to and answering to them. This one was at Diane Samuels, and her prompt was "Off comes the mask." So here's my response. Off comes the mask. My sentience divides, and I am no longer together as I begin to split. Off comes the mask as my consciousness breaks and shatters into a million pieces of mirror. Off comes the mask as I wait for you to see me on the other side, to see me put the mask on. Off comes the mask. Do you see me as a goo monster or as human? I look at myself in the mirror, the shattered pieces on the ground, and ask myself, why keep the mask? Because it's who I am. The person underneath is too fractured, too forgotten, too lonely. On goes the mask as I turn away, flames in my footsteps. And since I normally write about love, this is going to be a little off topic for me, but Ellen_Desiree.writes put out there, in English we say I hate you. In poetry we say, erase me from your heart and vision so that if we were ever to be in the same room together, you would feel a column of cold where I stand next to you. Pushing my ghostly hand into your heart and esophagus, roiling your stomach and causing you heartburn as you suffer in a meeting with your friends. I wish this pain of you every day. Thank you.